So Spider-Man Brand New Day is just still killing it. Killing it! Oh, man. You know, it was kind of funny. I see people almost, I don't know if it's cope or if it's of courseisms. I just coined a new term, of courseisms. But it depends on if it's a good movie. And if you have a track record of good movies, you know. But what I'm saying is that I see people say, oh, well, of course, it's Spider-Man. Doesn't mean it's going to do a great box office. Look at Star Wars. See, there was a time when you would say, of course, it's Star Wars. No. You have to keep that track record going. And it still has to be good. Because if the track record's well, and then this is the first movie where you disappoint people, it's still not going to pull as much as it would normally pull. And then the more you disappoint people, eventually it's going to be like, well, let's see if it's going to be good. I don't know how it's going to do, you know? And that's how it is with Star Wars now, you know? So, Spider-Man Brand New Day has a record Monday at the U.S. box office with 47 million. Updated with Sony's official figure. Okay. Sony and Marvel Studios' Spider-Man Brand New Day continues to set records in its fourth day at the domestic box office, notching the biggest Monday ever with $47 million. Sources earlier today spotted north of 46 million this morning. And this was, I think, written. When was this written? The 4th. Yeah, so this was written yesterday. That puts the Destin Daniel Cretton directed movie, and they want him back for Spider-Man 5, by the way, from what I'm hearing. Monday, well north of the previous biggest Monday, which belonged to Black Panther, 2018, President's Day. Oh, look at that. People were off that day, right? Certain amount of people were off that day. So they had a little bit of help with that. Now, this is a normal Monday, correct? Which did 40 million. 40.15 million. The next biggest after that belongs to Star Wars. See? See? That was when it had the shielding. And guess what movie? The Force Awakens. 40.1. They no longer have that popularity shielding. That popularity armor. I keep telling you about it. It's not just popularity, though. You gotta have a track record. You can't keep disappointing people. You can't say, of course, it's Spider-Man. Of course it's gonna... No! That doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a formula here, you know? That puts the running 4-day total for Brand New Day at 407 million, the third highest grossing movie stateside of 2026, currently behind Toy Story 5 and Super Mario Galaxy movie. Also, as of Monday, Universal's The Odyssey cracked the 4-century mark with 405 million, making it the fourth biggest movie at the domestic box office year to date. At this rate, for Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal produced Brand New Day, it wouldn't be shocking if the sequel posts the biggest second weekend ever, taking out The Force Awakens record for, well, it's a better movie. So, you know, sophomore domestic frame, 449.2 million. Avengers Endgame has the second best weekend at the domestic box office at 147.3 million. So we're going to have to see what happens. But Spider-Man Brand New Day is moving along. Overall, it's a good movie. Had its problems, but what movie don't? You know, it's rare that the movie's perfect, you know. So, yeah. As a matter of fact, that's a good question. To you guys, what's a perfect movie? I mean perfect. Like, there's not one thing in there where it's like, you know what? I didn't like when they did this, But otherwise, it's a perfect movie. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm talking about where you literally can't find a flaw in it. Like, my favorite movie of all time is Superman 1978. However, one issue that I have with it is there are parts where it shows where they ran out of budget. And that's very, it's like, yeah, clearly ran out of budget right here. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, though, it's close to perfect. So there's movies that are close to perfect. There are movies that are perfect. It's like, I can't find a, damn, I'm gonna find a problem with this. You know, like, I think I've heard people call, The Godfather perfect, Scarface perfect. I think I've heard people call Raiders of the Lost Ark perfect. Jurassic Park perfect. Terminator 2 perfect. There's certain movies that I've heard people say, these movies perfect. I would have to sit down and, but Terminator 2 is one of those where I think about it. I'm like, was there anything I didn't like about that film? I don't think there is anything I didn't like about, like where I was like, you know what I mean? I don't think that one might be a perfect movie right there. Name your perfect movie. 10 million subscribers. Woo!